Last year, OnePlus with the OnePlus One created a segment for itself, a new low-cost, high-performance segment. In the year between then and now, major players like ASUS have come up with their own offerings in this segment. In this video, let's check out if the latest OnePlus 2 can stand up to the older Zenfone 2, or can ASUS beat OnePlus at their own game. Before we get to that, if this is your first time here or in case you just can't remember, my name's Ash, this is C4E Tech, and you're watching my comparison of the OnePlus 2 with the ASUS Zenfone 2. Let's get started. As always, let's start with the build. While both phones pack 5.5-inch displays, they are built quite differently. The OnePlus 2 is shorter, narrower, and slimmer than the Zenfone 2. It's a little heavier though. That stems from the fact that the OnePlus 2 has a metal frame compared to plastic on the Zenfone 2. The backs of both phones are removable. If you see, this is actually a Zenfone 2 Deluxe, basically the top spec Zenfone 2 with this fancy back cover. Similarly, OnePlus also sells back replacements for the OnePlus 2, so you can customize the look and feel of both phones. I like how ASUS has put the volume keys to the back. Feels nice. While OnePlus have gone with the more traditional keys to the sides of the phone, there is a twist here in the form of the notification toggle to the right. This lets you either allow all notifications or just the priority ones, or even turn off notifications entirely. Another area where the OnePlus edges ahead is with regards to the buttons. OnePlus provides you with an option to choose between on-screen and capacitive keys. The capacitive keys are backlit here on the OnePlus 2, unlike on the Zenfone 2. The OnePlus 2 also features a fingerprint sensor underneath the home key. We've had mixed results with this sensor, it hasn't been too accurate so far. Then there's also a USB Type-C port on the OnePlus 2. While this lets you plug in the cable either way, it's also new technology, meaning you'd have to carry a cable around all the time. On the other hand, the Zenfone 2 opts for the more traditional micro USB port. That being said, I do feel the OnePlus 2 does have the upper hand with regards to built-in design. The smaller overall footprint makes the OnePlus 2 the more ergonomic choice, and all that metal also makes it the more premium choice here. Like I said at the start, both these phones sport 5.5-inch displays and both have a full HD resolution, meaning 401 pixels per inch. The display on the OnePlus 2 does seem a bit more color accurate, contrast and saturation is a little better. OnePlus have also gone with the newer Gorilla Glass 4 for protection compared to Gorilla Glass 3 on the Zenfone 2. Now, don't get me wrong here, both displays are crisp and sharp with great viewing angles. Whether it's reading text or consuming media, either device will provide you a great experience. It's just that the OnePlus 2's display is a tad better when compared side by side. And we notice that again with the brightness, meaning the OnePlus 2 will serve you better outdoors under direct sunlight. Now underneath the hood, the OnePlus 2 and the Zenfone 2 pack top-of-the-line internals from Qualcomm and Intel respectively. While the OnePlus 2 features a 64-bit octa-core Snapdragon 810 chip with 3GB of RAM on the 16GB variant and 4GB on the 64GB variant, this variant of the Zenfone 2 features a 64-bit Intel Z3580 chip and 4GB of RAM. While the internals might be different, both phones perform quite well in day-to-day scenarios. Neither had any issues with any intensive games we threw at it. The experience was smooth, no lag, no frames dropped for the most part. So I'd say both phones do pack quite a punch. It's also worth noting that while the audio via the OnePlus 2 speaker was not quite as loud, it did sound richer and fuller than the audio output by the speaker on the Zenfone 2. Audio via earphones and call quality were both great with either device. Now with that, we get to the cameras. Again, we have similarities. Both phones feature 13 megapixel rear and 5 megapixel front cameras. It's worth noting that the one on the OnePlus 2 has optical image stabilization built in, and it also features a laser assist for autofocus. In our testing, the camera on the OnePlus 2 did outperform its counterpart on the Zenfone 2. There's just a lot more detail in these images. The dynamic range is better, the processing is cleaner, especially noticeable when you zoom in a bit. In these cropped images, you can see that there's a lot more noise on pictures shot with the Zenfone 2. Similarly, under low light, thanks to optical image stabilization, the OnePlus 2 managed to stay ahead. The same holds true for the front cameras as well. The OnePlus 2 continued its dominance with video too. The 1080p footage captured by the Zenfone 2 just doesn't compare to the 4K video on the OnePlus 2. Even when downscaled, you can see that the footage shot with the OnePlus 2 is just better. The camera is more stable, quicker to focus, and the Zenfone 2's lack of dynamic range is very evident here. Moving on, let's now talk about the battery. Both phones sport non-removable batteries. On paper, the OnePlus 2 holds an advantage 3300 mAh compared to 3000 mAh on the Zenfone 2, and that translates to day-to-day numbers as well. On looping video playback test, the OnePlus 2 lasted about 9 hours compared to 8 hours for the Zenfone 2. The Zenfone 2 though charges much faster than the OnePlus 2. With that, let's now get to the software. Both these phones run on Android Lollipop currently. The Zenfone 2 has ASUS ZenUI on top, and the OnePlus 2 has Oxygen OS 2.0 on top. Both interfaces have app drawers, quick toggles on the notification bar, and while the Zenfone 2 does pack more preloaded apps, both interfaces are pretty responsive. Oxygen OS on the OnePlus 2 does have a few bugs, but OnePlus have been regularly ironing them out with updates, and the experience has been getting better. So with regular day-to-day usage, you aren't going to be noticing a lot of differences here. Both interfaces are pretty smooth, and with ample RAM, multitasking is a breeze as well. And that brings us to the price. The OnePlus 2 is available for 22,999 rupees for the 16GB variant and 24,999 rupees for the 64GB variant. The Zenfone 2 on the other hand is priced at 19,999 for the 16GB variant. Keep in mind, the Zenfone 2 has 4GB of RAM across all three storage variants, unlike the OnePlus 2 wherein you get 3GB of RAM for the 16GB variant and 4GB of RAM for the 64GB variant. Additionally, the Zenfone 2 also has support for microSD, something that the OnePlus 2 lacks. The Zenfone 2 Deluxe that you see in this video has 64GB of onboard storage and is priced at 22,999. Talking about prices, one also has to take into account that the OnePlus 2 is sold via the invite system, meaning you're gonna have to be very patient. Or pick one up with a minor markup from a third-party seller like merrymobiles.com. So my 2 cents, the OnePlus 2 does seem better than the Zenfone 2 on most accounts, but barring the camera, it's mostly marginal victories for the OnePlus 2. So if you either lack the patience to wait for a OnePlus 2 invite, or if you just want to save yourself money, the Zenfone 2 is not a bad choice at all. But if you want the best all-round performer, the best bang for your buck between these two, it's the OnePlus 2 that's going to offer you that. And you need to be patient and not mind the wait for the invite. So that's just me though. Do you agree, given a choice between the OnePlus 2 and the Zenfone 2, what would you choose and why? Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So that's pretty much it for this comparison video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, dislike it if you didn't. Do let me know what you didn't like, feedback's always welcome. And please subscribe if you haven't already. If you do want to help the channel out, do consider changing your Flipkart or Amazon URL to one with the affiliate code so that we get a little something each time you shop. The links can be found in the description below under where to buy. For more information on these two phones, you can check out their respective reviews. I'll leave links to that in the description as well. So I guess that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, this is Ash here from C4E Tech signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye bye now.